Hello, everybody, and how are you all doing today? It is Rusty Champagne, and welcome back. We're here once again with another video for Bee Swarm Simulator. Today, what I wanted to do with this one, because this one seemed like it was doing pretty well with people taking a look at it. So, what I wanted to do with this video is I wanted to kind of introduce us to each of the two zones that we're now available to see. So give us an introduction to both the starter zone and the 5B zone, because I realized that there were things that were in the starter zone that I really hadn't talked about all that much. So I want to just kind of talk about all the fields that are down here, talk about all the bears that are available, and all the things that you can do in each of the different areas. So here down in the starter zone, there are 5 different fields available. So right here, we have the sunflower field, which is the very first field that we do anything in. And we'll go here and we'll hit this leaf and we'll get a sunflower seed eventually. There we go. And then here, uh, to the left here, we have the mushroom field, which is one of the most challenging fields to harvest just because it's one of the most challenging to actually see anything in. Just because you can't really pan your camera all that well. So for me, it's always one of the most frustrating. Ah! And that's how I feel when I'm in that field. Next up, we have the dandelion field here, which has primarily white pollen in it, similar to the sunflower field. Over here to this side, we have the blue flower field over here, where we have a rhino beetle that will come out after us. And we will dispatch him and get some levels for our bees, which happens early on, but not later. We also have this blue headquarters, which we will see if we can get ourselves into this headquarters, because one of the nice things about the headquarters is that it's a good way to go about getting field boosts. And when you can get a field boost, that's going to make it quicker to work in fields. It's going to help you get honey faster. It's going to help you get pollen faster, and that's just going to help you progress through the game faster. So progress is always good. So we'll see whether or not we're going to be able to get into that field today. I'm not sure. It'll depend on how we do with bees, because I don't want to use up a bunch of royal jelly trying to force the issue there. And then up here, if we step up one more to this field, we have the clover field. And in the clover field, we have both a rhino beetle and a ladybug that come after us, level 2. So they'll come here and say, would you please be friends with me? And I'll say, no, I really would not like that, because your idea of a friend and my idea of a friend are two completely different things. And then over here, we have the brown bear, who will give us a quest, because it's been more than an hour since we talked to him. So are we ready for a new quest? It'll give us a royal jelly and a ticket, and now every quest becomes a little bit more challenging. So his next quest is, 4,500 from the clover field and 2,200 from the blue flower field, and the first ones were like 1,200 and 700. So they just keep slowly ramping up. Over here, behind this wall of vines, is the that's the commando chick, which I don't. How would you describe the commando chick? It's something that it has a decent number of hit points to it, and every time that you defeat it, it gives you better and better rewards. And after you defeat it enough times, it ends up giving you, I believe, a mythic bead. But it becomes more and more challenging. And all you need in order to get in here is you need a tool that can cut vines. So like clippers. And then once you have a set of clippers or something like that, you can open this up, and then you just have to watch out when you walk through here, because you can see there's that red that's kind of right there, and if you step on there, that's basically lava. So if you miss the steps, if you mistime a jump, you're going to end up dying, just because you're going to fall and hit the red, and that will kill you and send you back to the starting area. Over here, we also have available to us, once you have 4 legendary bees, you have the ability to summon what's called a honey storm, where it'll make this noise where it goes, honey storm. And then on every field in the game, it will pop up all of these different all these honey tokens will show up all over the field, and it'll do that for like 15-20 seconds, and then the honey storm will end. There will also be a couple of tickets that show up in the fields as well, um, and then it'll be over, and everything will go back to normal. Over here we have an area where you can buy royal jelly. It costs you 6 tickets to do it. I would not at all recommend doing this because 6 tickets for a royal jelly is not a good trade. But you can if you want, and that's completely up to you. But there's a lot better ways to use your tickets than that. We also have this sticker, which I have not really talked about these, and I'm not going to talk about them now just because everything with stickers, we can't do much with them. It's part of the most recent thing that was introduced to the game, but it's something that's primarily usable once you're at a higher level than we are. And since we're here with only our 5 Bs, there's not much that we can really do with stickers at this point. In terms of the bears, like I said before, we have the black bear, we have the mother bear, and we have the brown bear that was up there by the clover field that can give you quests here. And the other thing I wanted to show you here, because we hadn't gone through this, this is, I don't remember exactly what they call this. I call it the ticket shop. So in the ticket shop, these are all the different things that you can buy with tickets. So there are all of these different bees that you can buy. So there's the puppy bee, there's the photon bee, there's the cub buddy, and that's one that you could buy with Robux, or if you have 2,000 tickets, you can buy it with tickets. And it's definitely something that you want to have just because it'll constantly drop tokens for you, and that's nice. So it's everyone normally has one of these, and there's multiple ways to get it. You can get it through tickets, you can get it through Robux. As part of Beesmas, I think they give you one if you don't have one, if you finish one of the Beesmas quest lines. So just about everybody has a cub buddy in the game. There's the tabby bee, which everyone also has because the tabby bee is awesome. There's the festive bee, which is what gives you your little deck the halls gifts. There's the crimson bee and the cobalt bee, which are good for red and blue. And then you can also buy gold eggs here for 50 tickets, which will give you a gold egg, which gives you a guaranteed epic or better. And then the most important thing, there's the star treat, which for 1,000 tickets will turn a bee into a gifted bee. And that's going to be one of the things you probably spend your tickets on the most, is going to be star treats. So over the course of playing, you're going to earn more and more tickets, and then you can go here and spend those tickets on these different eggs and the different treats, and maybe even the cub buddy. So that's everything that you have in this area. Over here, this is another one of those things what I talked about before, where it's part of a special. It was part of a special event that came out a couple of years ago. There's going to be videos about it. If you Google Bee Swarm special goggles, I think you can learn more about that, because honestly I don't remember, and with it having been at least a couple of years since that event happened, I couldn't even begin to describe it, because there's so much that goes on with codes and things like that. In the game, there's all these cannons that become available once you've discovered enough different bee types. It's not just having this many bees. So just having 25 bees doesn't give you ability to use this cannon. You have to discover 25 different types of bees in order to be able to use this cannon. So we're obviously nowhere near that at this point. And then if we go back this way, back towards that slingshot that's off in the distance, this is a similar thing where this slingshot you can use to get to another part of the game as well. I think that'll shoot you up to the 10B zone. So you have to discover 8 different bee types in order to use the slingshot. So once we have 8 different bee types available, then we can use the slingshot, and it'll send us up to the 10B zone. And so that's just about everything down in the starter area. So yeah, we got the 5 different fields. So we got sunflower, mushroom, dandelion, blue flower, and clover. And then we have the 3 different bears. So we have up there, we have the brown bear. Over there in the distance, we have the black bear. Over there, we have the mother bear. And then we also have the blue headquarters, which would help us to start getting boosts in blue fields. So now we're going to head up here and we're going to get chased down by a spider, and that's okay. So we're just going to constantly run around while our bees take care of the spider. Because, yeah, at this point in time, the spider is not good. But later on, it won't be a big deal. But, yeah, you can see right now we're struggling big time to get this spider taken care of. And we may not. I might just have to run past this guy and leave him alone. Because, no, I'll wait. We'll eventually get him taken care of. It's just going to take a lot of time. And normally you wouldn't have this. I mean, once you're high enough level, that won't be a big deal. But you can see he drops a decent number of tokens. There was also a field dice token in there. There was a ticket in there. So he drops a nice number of tokens. That's pretty good. So this is the spider field. So in the 5B zone, we have 3 different fields. We have the spider field, which is all white. Over here we have the strawberry field, which has 2 ladybugs in it, which will come and visit us and say hello. And we will look at them and we will say hello. And then we will dispatch them, and we will then move on to the next field. So once again, some more royal jelly and some more tokens. At this point in the game, all tokens are good. Ah! And we can also hop up here and grab this ticket token. So there we go. Also up here in the starting zone, but you can't. Oops, I fell down. So we're going to have to go back up. Take care of that. Grab your tokens. So also here in the starting area, but up on these on this little maze of mushrooms, is the stick bug. And we'll talk about the stick bug in another episode, because the stick bug, you can't really do much with the stick bug when you're starting out. He does a challenge that goes through the entire area, where you run from field to field constantly trying to defeat him, and he'll basically, it's a great way to get a whole bunch of tokens, and it's a way to also earn an amulet. And we haven't talked anything about amulets in the game, but it's a way that you can go about getting an amulet, which basically makes your stats even better. They're generally good things. But in the beginning of the game, you don't really have anything that you're going to do with the stick bug, so you're just going to kind of leave him and not worry about him. Over here, we have the vicious bee, where if you get 250 stingers, then you can turn in those stingers to claim a vicious bee. And we haven't really talked about how you get stingers. And the main way you get stingers is when the game turns to nighttime, there will be a vicious bee that will occasionally show up in one of a number of fields. So the vicious bee can show up in like one of maybe 5 different fields, maybe 6. Maybe even more than that. But he won't always show up at night. But when he does show up at night, then he'll go through the field. He'll constantly put spikes into the field. And if you defeat the vicious bee, he will give you some stingers. If you get enough of those stingers, then you can turn in all 250 of them and get a vicious bee. This is one of these things that you're not going to do anywhere near one sitting. That's one of those longer term goals that they have in the game, because this game is very, very well known for its longer term goals. So we have and there's this random sprout that showed up here, which we could go after, but it would take forever for us. So we're not going to worry about that here. So we have the strawberry field here, we have the spider field here, and we have the bamboo field over here. And then this one has the 2 rhino beetles that are going to come up and look at us and say hello. And we're going to look at them and say, how you doing? And we're going to wait for our bees to take them down, which again, with it being the beginning, everything happens very slowly. And we do actually get hit. And then we go from there. And someone is in the game that has the festive bee, so that's nice. So we'll get some occasional tokens, and that's great. And the only other thing that we have in the 5B zone is we have the panda bear, who we apparently finished his quest. Oh yeah, his quest was to defeat a ladybug. So there's one bear in this area. That's the panda bear. And then there are 3 fields. The strawberry field, the spider field, the bamboo field. So the 5B zone doesn't have a whole lot in it. Also up there in the 5B zone, you can kind of navigate those bricks on that wall there, and that would take you up to the Moon Charm pedestal, which the Moon Charm pedestal, that'll give you a Moon Charm amulet, which those are also things that boost your stats as well. At the beginning of the game, again, you don't have much use for it because you're not going to get a lot of Moon Charms early on in the game. But as you go further along in the game, you'll get more and more Moon Charms and can try and turn them into a really good amulet. And there's all kinds of videos out there for like what's the best moon amulet to get. So you can certainly look up on YouTube. You can go Beastworm Simulator Moon Amulet, and I'm sure there would be 100 videos out there that are going to talk about the Moon Amulet and what's the best one to get. Because there are, like I said before, there are oodles and oodles of videos about Beastworm Simulator at this point. But I just wanted to kind of do this one as an introduction to all the different areas and do it as a bit of a playthrough as well. So we're going to go here. Panda Bear, that was just the beginning. So yeah, we had to defeat the Ladybug for the Panda Bear. By the way, if you notice your bees returning to the hive on their own, they're going back to sleep and recover their energy. Every time a bee gathers pollen or attacks an enemy, or attacks an enemy, it loses 1 energy. You can see how much energy your bee has by clicking on its cell in the hive. Take this for now. Come back when you're ready for more. So we get some honey. And so now he's going to want us to do things with rhino beetles. So again, I wish all these quests were that easy, but they're not. So, but the beginning ones are. So through the course of action, we'll end up getting these rhino beetles, and then we'll be able to turn in that quest. But what I want to do is I want to try and work on some things that are in the higher level fields here, because the higher level fields are going to give us, they're going to give us more honey. And then more honey is going to give us the ability to get more bees, and more bees is going to give us the ability to get up to the 10 bee zone, which is the next area that I want us to be able to visit. Because in the 10 bee zone, that's where we actually start getting into some new gear as well. So you start with the gear from the starter bee zone, and then you can move up to the 10 bee zone, and you can get some even better gear that is significantly higher in price, but it's also significantly better gear. And then from there, you can move on to the 15 bee zone, which has even better gear, but at that point, that's the one where you have to have a bunch of badges complete, I believe, in order to even be able to get in and see that gear. So it's all about progression in this game. And so right now we're just in the you are an absolute noob stage of the game, which is fine. Everyone has to start out there. And that's kind of where we are with our 5 little bees doing their thing and just slowly but surely making pollen, making honey, and getting us a little bit better every day. So one thing I am going to do, I am going to probably take a look here in the starter shop and see if we can get ourselves a better collector for sure, and then maybe even a better backpack, because even in the starter zone, it's good to have more capacity and be able to get more honey, because the faster you get pollen, then the faster you can fill up your honey, and faster is always better. So we're going to go here. We're going to go straight to the collectors. So we can go straight here and get the vacuum cleaner. So this is going to be the best collector from the starter area. So we're going to get that. And I think we can't get the helmet because we don't have a moon charm. Close that out. I should have closed that out from the very beginning. We can get a belt pocket, but we can't because we don't have the 14,000 honey. But the belt pocket would give us what they call loot luck. And loot luck basically means that when tokens drop, there's a chance that the tokens would be better than what they would normally be. And so that loot luck would be increased by 25%. And then convert amount is the amount of pollen that converts to honey. So this basically converts more pollen to honey. And it gives us more capacity, which is good. And then we can do this. We're going to do the basic boots. So this is going to help us to move a little bit faster. And it's going to also collect honey just from walking over the fields. So this one only takes 4,400 honey. It takes 3 blueberries, 3 sunflower seeds. So we're going to craft this. And now we're going to just collect a little bit of honey just from walking on fields. And that's nice. And then if we go back here, so then the only other thing that we need is if we got the biggest canister, so we're going to need 22,000 honey for the biggest canister. So we're going to shoot for getting the 22,000 honey for the canister, and we're going to shoot for getting the 14,000 honey for the belt pocket. Those are going to be our goals here. And so we're going to run out here now, and we should start getting honey faster. Now you're going to see, just from walking over the field, I'm collecting pollen. So yeah, so it doesn't collect honey, it collects pollen. There are things later on that turn the pollen into honey, but just from walking over the field, we're collecting pollen, so that's nice. And we are running a little bit faster at this point. Oh, let's see if I can get up here and get to this field. So yeah, so over here in the bamboo field, when it turns to night, and we're going to have our rhino beetles that show up. So over here in the bamboo field, there are these things on the field that are called fireflies. And so at nighttime, you'll have these fireflies that show up on various fields. And you can run over them to kind of collect them, so to speak. And when you collect all of them, it drops a moon charm in the center. And then the areas where they are, you can walk over them and get a token from where they were. And you're going to have quests later on that are going to ask you to get moon charms. You're going to have quests that are going to ask you to collect fireflies. So the fireflies only show up at night. And then they'll show up in one of, I want to say, 4 or 5 random fields. And there are only a couple of fields that are in the 5B zone where they show. No, they actually show up in all 3 of them here. So you can see them in the strawberry field. You can see them in the spider field. You can see them in the bamboo field. Generally, they're always good things to get. If they're near you, it doesn't hurt to go and stop and get them. So you can't go wrong by doing it, because again, they'll give you tokens, they'll give you a moon charm if you get all of the ones that are in a circle there. So it's generally always a good thing to do. So here we go. Guess you're not a newbie. Here's a tip. When your bees attack an enemy, they use 1 energy. When they run out of energy, they have to return to the hive to sleep. You can see how much energy your bees... He just told us all this. Yeah, we've heard this. Thank you, Panda Bear. Okay, so 500 honey. And now we can handle ladybugs and a few rhino beetles. He's bonked hundreds of them. That's good for you. And if you want to reach my level, you need to level up your bees. If it is a lower level than a bug it's attacking, it will probably miss. Yes, that is very true, and something you want to watch out for. Level up your bees or they won't be able to fight. Let's kick your lessons up a notch. Destroy 3 ladybugs and 3 rhino beetles. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so now you can notice... Oh, hello, rhino beetle. I just stepped right on your head. So, sorry about that. Okay, we're going to go over here. Ah! I love that noise. Okay, so we've already filled up our pollen, and you can see how much quicker we filled up our pollen just from that vacuum cleaner and just from the boots. And we've also got almost all of our honey to then get to get the biggest canister. So we're going to hit these goals really, really fast. And then after that, we're going to see if we can get the additional 5 Bs to then be able to make our way to the 10B zone, where we have some new things that occur. And we'll talk about all that in our next episode when we get to that point. So we're also going to have a quest here that we're going to have completed for the black bear, which should then give us everything that we need to get that canister, because we're going to be just short of it. We might get it here. We're going to pick up these tokens. I think... Oh, yeah, we are going to have it. So we're going to have our 22,000 for the high-end canister. The high-end canister. The high-end canister of the starting zone, which really isn't saying much, but still, it's better than the low-end canister. So we're going to run in here, and we are going to go to the canister. That's what it's called. I don't know why I call it the high-end canister. It's just the canister. So we're going to get that for 22,000 honey, so that gives us 10,000 capacity and 30% convert rate. And convert rate, you can see what all these different things mean. If you click on the gear, it will tell you what all these different stats mean. So if we go down here to convert rate, it multiplies the amount of pollen your bees can convert into honey at a time. So we're going to basically be converting honey at a 130% clip as opposed to 100%. So then it's just going to give us honey faster, so we're not going to spend as much time sitting at the hive waiting for our honey to switch over, or waiting for our pollen to switch over to honey. So that's good. It helps get that done quicker, and quicker is always better, especially in this game. So we're going to go here to the black bear. He's going to tell us about the bamboo field. It says it may appear elegant, but it's surprisingly resilient and grows fast. Good thing Panda Bear eats that stuff, otherwise it would probably take over all the fields. Oh, you're so funny. Anyways, here's a reward to hold you over. 9 more questions. The gold egg is yours. 2,000 honey for that. Okay, some bees have special abilities. So the red boost increases the amount of pollen you get from red flowers. That can stack up to 10 times, and then a bee with a bomb collects pollen from all the flowers around it. And if you activate multiple bombs in a row, you get bonus pollen. And if you hatch lots of bees, then it allows you to get your combo skills to maximum effect. So now he wants 5,000 red pollen. We can do that. So now we can hold 10,000 pollen, and we can collect at a really good rate. So now since we want 5,000 pollen, where we're going to go up to the strawberry field, because again, we're going to get red pollen a lot quicker from the strawberry field than we would from the mushroom field. So we're going to go over here to the strawberry field, and we're going to say hello to a couple of the spiders that are there, because we need the spiders anyway for the panda bear. So hello. Or we need ladybugs, not spiders. Oh man, streaming can be hard. Because the things I say when I'm streaming don't make any sense at all, and it's just because a lot of the time I just feel like I'm talking in word salad. And so it's like, the thing you just said makes no sense, Rusty. So yeah, so now we're going around. This, I forget what the name is of that effect, but it basically, if you stand there, it increases the amount of pollen that you get from standing in that region, but I can't remember what the name is of that token. I think it might be like a honey mark. Someone got a badge. Someone got the mushroom badge. Hot shot. So very nice. Congratulations to you. So as you can see, you can look, and we've collected a whole bunch of red pollen already. So that used to be a lot slower. Our basic bee has leveled up. Hooray to the red bee, or the basic bee. And so, yeah, already we've gotten our 5,000 red pollen, and that took like no time at all compared to when we started. I mean, we were doing quests before, and we were waiting like 10 minutes to get 1,200. Well, it wasn't 10 minutes, but it felt like 10 minutes to get 1,200 pollen. So we're definitely collecting pollen a lot more quickly now. So we're going to go here. From his experience, red bees tend to be feisty. That's not a false statement. Rascal bee is a little mischievous. It produces bombs that collect red pollen. It's a good fighter too. The rage bee is always upset and angry, but it's great for firing up your other bees in battle. Here's a reward to hold you over. 8 more quests, and the gold egg is yours. Okay, and then arachnophobia is a big word that means fear of spiders. I probably got that. Then again, he's afraid of most things, which is why he stands down here in the starter zone. Hopefully you're braver than me. Collect 6,000 pollen from the spider field. We can do that. Okay, but before we do that, we are going to go back to our hive, and we're going to empty out our bag because we're here and we might as well. And then after we do that, we're going to then make our way up to the spider field, get the pollen from there, and then once we have the pollen from there, that will give us enough to then go back and get the belt. And with the belt, then we'll have even more capacity, and more capacity is good. You can never go wrong with more capacity. So the one thing is that right now at this point, it's still slow getting the pollen turned into honey because we don't have that many bees. So every level that the bees get, they convert more and more pollen to honey, but it's still it can kind of go slowly. And when you get into the end game, or closer to the end game, I shouldn't say, I don't have any end game characters, but when you get far into the mid game and closer to the end game, you get to the point where you can convert honey while you're in the field as quickly as you gather it, or you can convert pollen as quickly as you can gather it if you've got yourself set up right. So that way you really don't ever have to worry about coming back to your hive to convert once you get a really good setup. But at this point in time, that's not anything that we're even thinking about. Right now, we're just noobs running around with a vacuum cleaner and a canister on our back, just collecting honey wherever we can. So again, we're collecting this pretty quick. We're already 1/4 of the way through our target, and we should have this here in about a minute's time. And then, yeah, I think we'll be able to get to the 10B zone pretty easily, which is good, because the goal of these early ones is really just to kind of show you each of the different zones, so you can get a good feel, and we can kind of go through them, and you can see how long it would take to maybe move from one zone to the next, and just kind of keep on progressing through the early stages of the game, for those of you who have not seen it at this point in time. So we are just about done with the spider field here with this quest. There we go. We're going to now run back. We're going to go down here. We're going to say hello to this ladybug. Almost step on his head. How you doing? Thanks for playing. Have a nice day. Okay, so we're going to get yours. So we need 2 more rhino beetles for the panda bear, and we'll take care of that as well pretty soon. So, running around, back to the black bear. Here we go. Wow, you really are brave. Well, it helps that the spider wasn't there. What was fighting that spider like? Did you get bit? I did once. Actually, I don't think I want to know. Actually, anyway, here's a reward to hold you over. 7 more quests, and the gold egg is yours. Okay, so 3,200 from that. How about some leisurely gathering? I do like leisurely. You know, down here where it's safe. Collect 3,000 from the sunflower, dandelion, mushroom, and blue flower fields. So that's just all the starting fields. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go over here, and we're going to empty out our bags again. And then we're going to go and get the canister, not the canister. We're going to go and get the belts. And I think we'll also be able to get the helmet, because when those fireflies came out, we did collect a moon charm. So we do have a moon charm available to us. If we look on our inventory, I do believe we have a moon charm here. Oh yeah, we have 7 of them. Oh, we got a bunch of moon charms. So yeah, we'll be able to get a moon charm, or we'll be able to spend a moon charm to get the helmet. I also noticed that I do still have a basic bee here, so I'm going to take this basic bee, I'm going to give it a royal jelly, and we're going to see what it turns into. Ooh, a legendary. How nice. So we got a red legendary. It's a shy bee. Now, later on in the game, legendary, no big deal, but when you're this early in the game, you get a legendary, those are always good. So we'll gladly take a legendary at this stage. They're not that hard to get, but again, early on, anything you can get, you are definitely thankful for. So we're going to run into the shop here. We're going to get the best stuff that we can in the shop. So we're going to go here. We've already got the best canister there, so we're maxed out on canisters. We've already got the best collector. We now can get the helmet, but we can't because we don't have the honey, so we'll have to come back and get that, which will allow us to get 10% more pollen, which is good, and 25% defense. But we can get the belt pocket, so we're going to get this, which is going to give us 5,000 more capacity. So now we have 15,000 capacity, and we can convert more, and we have some more loot luck. So the only thing that we have left here really to get is going to be the helmet. And then we'll be done with all of the gear in the starting area. And so if we turn around and kind of look at ourselves, we got a little belt there that's on the front of us with my goofy starter Roblox hair, because I didn't bother to make my character look any different than the basic one because I'm not that creative. Okay, so let's see. If we go around here, let's get a couple more rhino beetles and take care of that quest for the panda bear. So if we go up to the bamboo fields, that'll get us 2 more rhino beetles. And we might get attacked by the spider again. It doesn't look like it. So you can tell, if you walk into any field, you can see what the timer is for the thing that's in the field. So like the spider is going to reappear in about 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So all the bigger field monsters have cooldowns to them. The rhino beetles, I mean, everything has a cooldown. It's just depending on what kind of thing it is, the cooldown will be longer or shorter. So the rhino beetles have a much quicker cooldown. I mean, they're only 5 minutes in between. But the spiders have a longer cooldown. I think theirs might be like 15 minutes, maybe even 20. So we finished up our quest for the panda bear. That's good. So we're going to go up here and turn in his quest. So we can work on our real training soon. Remember, your bees better start. You better start leveling up your bees. As your monsters become higher level, your bees need to become higher level too. In case you haven't guessed yet, they want you to level up your bees. So I think that's the point that they're trying to make. Yeah, and then it'll miss. All right, take this for now. Another 1,000 honey. So we're going to go here. As you work your way up the mountain, the monsters get tougher. That is true. You can run from it, but can you slay it? I'm talking about the spider. If you can beat it, it'll give us a jar of royal jelly. And we know about what that does. So, yeah, so the next thing, we'll have to defeat the spider, and that'll take another 5 minutes or so before the spider will return for us. If we come here and look at it, yeah, just about 5 minutes. So at this point now, we're gonna gather. I'm just going to kind of stick around up here because I could work on this quest for the black bear, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I do want to just collect some honey faster, so that's my goal here, is just getting some quick honey collection or some quick pollen collection so we can turn that into honey and get some bees. And I can collect pollen quicker here than I can in the lower level. So as you can see, we're collecting pollen at a pretty good clip up here. And then once we get ourselves up to 30,000 honey, then we can go back down, get the helmet. We'll have that taken care of. And then we can just focus on getting bees after that, because we'll have all the gear that we can get. And then we can just focus on getting up to our 10 bees and making our way up through the 10 bee zone. Now, this thing that's in the middle here, because I haven't really talked about these are planters. The planters, you can plant them in any field, and they will grow over the course of time. And once they're fully grown, they'll pop out a bunch of tokens. They can pop out these things that are called puff shrooms, which is basically mushroom with the word puff in place of the mush, which you can run around. Those will appear in fields, and you can knock down the puff shrooms, and those will also give you tokens. And basically the planters, again, it's all good stuff. In order to get the planters, it's going to take you a whole bunch of honey and a whole bunch of other things in order to craft a planter, and we're not going to see those until we get up into the 10 bee zone and make our way to visit the dapper bear. So we won't see him this episode, and I don't even know if we see him next. I don't know if we just get to automatically walk into his place when we get up there. So we'll find out when we get to the next episode and we're in the 10 bee zone area. So we're gonna get this ladybug. We're just gonna run. Okay. And then our bees take care of it. Okay, now we're going to go here. So again, this one's going to take a little bit longer because I've got 15,000 pollen and only 5 bees to empty it out. So the next time that we collect pollen, we're going to start working on getting more eggs to get more bees. And it might take like 2 or 3 canisters full of honey to get all the honey that we need to get the extra eggs for the extra bees. So I think it'll take about that. And then from there, we should be in the 10 bee zone. So slowly but surely, we're getting there. And I just noticed I should do that. Get us into complete full screen. So, yeah, not paying attention to my entire screen here. It's a lot better to look at it this way than it is to look with my screen not maximized. So slowly but surely, getting our bags emptied here. So yeah, this is what a lot of the beginning of this game is about. But you can see that in a matter of not even 2 hours playtime, we've gotten ourselves from having 1 bee and a scooper and a pouch that can hold 200 honey to now we've got a bag that can hold 10,000 honey. And we have a belt, and we have some shoes that help us to walk quicker. And we have 5 bees, including a legendary. And we've gotten a decent way through some of these quests. Oh yeah, we do have a quest here that we do have a badge that we finished. So we did get this quest badge junior, which every time we do this, it's going to increase our total our total capacity. So we'll have 25% more capacity as a result of having finished this. So we should go from 15,000 to maybe 22,500, or no, 18,750. There we go. So we got one. We got five. We got 5 tickets for that. I hear a Windy Bee down here. I'm not going to be able to do anything with them, but yeah, I'm going to go down here and we're going to play around with the Windy Bee. This is kind of dangerous. So the Windy Bee is an effect that you can occasionally trigger. That he sits way up in like the 30 to 35 bee zone, and you can have him kind of pop out on the fields, and he'll kind of swing around on the fields and do this little dance. And if you defeat him, he'll grow a level, and he'll drop a whole ring of tokens for you. It's weird to see one that's only level 1. But the thing you want to watch out for is you want to watch out for that red rectangle that he puts in front of him. Because if you get caught in that, you're going to get blown all the way as far as you can in the direction that you that you were standing. So if you're going to have that happen, you want to just get blown into a wall as opposed to being up on a higher level and getting blown off the level. So we should be able to knock him up to level 2. This is so weird for it to happen. Actually, I'm going to stand here. So that's what happens. You get you get blown as far as you can in that direction. And so I'm glad that I was able to make that happen. So yeah, we're going to be able to get him to level 2. It's so weird to see a level 1 Windy Bee. Because normally when they first pop out, they're at least level 4 or level 5. So this is kind of a rare find. It's like finding an albatross in the wild. I don't know if that made any sense. The Windy Bee also spawns these tornadoes that if you stand in them, they will do damage, so you do want to avoid them. So yeah, we get a little ring of tokens here, which isn't too bad for us for being level 1. We'll take that. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, that was kind of neat to see. You don't normally see a level 1 Windy Bee. So he's going to go off. He turned into a level 2. He sticks around for like 5 minutes, and then he goes and disappears. You can tell that he's out on the fields because if you look way up there, you see those little wind chimes that are kind of all just kind of spinning around and doing stuff like that. If those wind chimes are doing that, if they're dancing around like that, that means that there's a Windy Bee somewhere out in your fields. If they're just all stationary, then that means that there's no Windy Bee that's currently out and about. So that's how you can tell if you're just kind of, if you want to see if there's a possibility that there's a Windy Bee around, you can just take a look at those chimes and see if they're dancing. If they're not, then you don't have to worry about there being a Windy Bee anywhere around. But if they are, then you can start making your way from field to field and see if you can find him. Because again, Windy Bees are great. You definitely want to get the Windy Bee if you can. So now back here. And we are going to go here. We're going to get our helmets. And there we go. So now we have all of the equipment that we can get from the starter shop. So there we are in our little football helmet. And, oh, the other thing I didn't talk about, you can join the Bee Swarm Simulator Club to use this honey dispenser. It'll give you a little bit of honey. And I think in order to do that, there's something on the main page. Like if you just go into the Bee Swarm Simulator page from like the Roblox screen, I think it'll talk about how you join the club. There's just something you have to do. It gives you a little bit of honey. At the beginning of the game, it's nice. Once you get later on in the game, it's not that big of a deal. But, I mean, it's a nice way to support the developer of the game. And so you can't really go wrong with that. I mean, if nothing else, it's good karma. So I'm a fan of good karma. So we're going to go back here, and now we're going to go to the egg dispenser because we're going to see how much an egg costs. So yeah, these eggs start getting to be more and more expensive. So this one's going to be 6,700 honey, and then the next one will be 10,000. So they just slowly but surely get more expensive as we go along. But we're going to get this one. We're going to go here, going to put this into place. We're going to hatch it. That's a basic bee. We're going to give it a royal jelly. We're going to transform it. That turned into a brave bee, which is a new one that we've discovered. So brave bee, I believe, just gives us So when it's gifted, it gives us 1 bee attack. It basically it's a real powerful fighter, so it's good for things like the spider. Speaking of which, I do think that we have the spider to kind of go and kind of bop upside the head here. And now that we have a brave bee, that'll make it a little bit easier to do. So let's see if we walk up here. There he is. Okay. Spiders or bees, assemble! Please help me in the dispatching of the spider. Oh yeah, that brave bee's not going to do a lot because he's not a level 4. So yeah, he's going to kind of run around and look daunting, but not actually do anything. So, but yeah, we just got to keep running around, keep strafing, and the spider won't hurt us. So there we go. We defeated the spider. Now we can go back, talk to the panda bear. So at this point, it's really about trying to get honey to... Okay, hello, rhino beetles. Trying to get honey so that we can get the eggs, that we can get our 10 bees, and get up to the 10 bee zone. So that's really what we're trying to do here, and that's what our goal is for now. We can take out care of some quests at the same time, but I'm not focusing on that too much right now. Because like I said, I just want to get us to the point where we have the 10 bees, and we can move up to that zone. So over here to the panda bear, I'm going to talk to him. He's going to talk about the spider. It used to bother me, but not anymore. You can slay the spider with a single bunk because he's just that good. Here's a jar of royal jelly, and we know what the royal jelly does because we've done it. If you're lucky, you'll get a bee who knows how to fight, for example, the brave bee. Hey, we were just talking about him. Okay, and then we have the rage bee. We have one of those as well. And the lion bee, that's a legendary. He strikes with a force of 9 bees. All right, so when he's ready... All right, so there's 1,000 in a royal jelly, so we're going to go here. And so if he can prove it, he'll give us a silver egg. Oh, yeah, we want that. So let's see. 4 more quests to do it. So we need 15 ladybugs. So again, now we're starting to get into the quest where, yeah, you could do them in one sitting, but it's going to take longer and longer. And that's the way that a lot of these tend to go. As you get further along, many of the quests will be, 15 ladybugs, you can do that in one session just by running around in the field. So that's no big deal. But the others will start taking longer and longer to do, and you won't be able to do them in one session unless you're just playing for hours. So yeah, you'll tend to see that as we go along. So now we do have this quest here to feed 15 treats to our bees, and that'll give us the next quest for the mother bear. So we might as well do that. So we're going to go here because I think we have 15 treats to do this. So who do we have that we can give 15 treats to? Oh yeah, we got 84 treats. So we're going to go here. We're going to max up the brave bees. So that'll be 19. Okay, so now all of our bees are level 4. Now we can go here and talk to the mother bear, and she'll give us a new quest. And that should give us some honey, which is another reason that we want to do this. So we're looking to do anything that's going to give us honey. So exciting, isn't it? You never know what your bee will transform into when you give it a royal jelly. Keep in mind that you might not always like the result. And so, yeah, you can always transform it again if you get something that you don't like. All right, so, yeah, 5,000 honey. Sweet. All right, so that should give us just about enough to get another egg. Then she wants to talk about her personal favorite strawberries. They raise your bond with the bee by 25. They can be found in the strawberry field. They can also be found a little bit in the mushroom field, but they're better in the strawberry field. To find, that is. And ladybugs can't drop strawberries. So, and then all of these bees love strawberries, mostly the reds. And they have a chance to become gifted. So we want to feed 20 treats and 5 strawberries to your bees. And then have 1 bee at level 5 and 5 bees at level 4. Okay, so we can probably do all that, and it's going to have us going up to the strawberry field a little bit as well. So we need 5 strawberries fed to our bees. So let's go here, and I do believe that we have a red bee that we can feed 5 strawberries to. Yeah, we can feed that to the rage bee, and he will like the 5 strawberries. Yeah, so again, we can tell that a bee likes that particular kind of thing because it says until gifted here, which means it'll feed all of the things that you have in your inventory of that type, in this case strawberries. It'll feed all the strawberries to the bee until the bee would turn gifted, and then it would stop feeding. So if we had 10,000 strawberries and it took 7,000 for the bee to become gifted, because it's completely random, then it would feed it 7,000 strawberries, and then the one that would make it gifted, it would then stop feeding it strawberries. In this case, it would take 6 just to level it up, so we'll do that. Yeah, obviously it didn't turn it gifted, because that would have been the miracle of all miracles had that happened. So that did not happen. And now we're going to feed 20 treats to our bees because we're here, and we might as well do it. So we're going to actually feed. Now you can see that when you're trying to get up to level 5, it's going to take a lot more treats to get there. So can I buy another egg now? Let's see. How much is it for another egg? 10,313. Okay, so that's, oh, I've got enough honey in my, or I've got enough pollen in my canister. Here's someone that's got a really nice blue hive. I can tell because they've got all those buoyant bees, and they've got all of the tadpole. Yeah, those are the tadpole bees, I believe. So that's someone that's a really big focus on a blue hive there. And with being level 15, they're pretty far along. And there's definitely a bunch of videos that you can see out there with people that have like good hive builds. I've never tried to like put on a video like that because I'm not that good. And I've just looked at other people's videos to see what good hive builds are. But yeah, that's something that you can kind of look into if you play this game a lot and you want to focus on being a red hive or a blue hive or a mixed hive, and what's the best way to go about doing it. So we're going to go here. We got bee number 7, and that's also a basic bee. Going to transform it, and that's a blue bee. Good, a bumblebee. So I'm hoping that we can get to 4 blue bees, so that way we can get into the blue bee headquarters, since that's available to be seen at the lowest levels. All right, we're going to feed you 1 to get you to level 2. Going to feed you again 4 to get to level 3. Now, he should like blueberries. We're not going to feed him blueberries, but yeah, he likes blueberries. And then we're going to feed you 1 more time. And there we go. So now we completed another quest for Mother Bear. And our next egg is going to cost us 15,000 honey. So yeah, we're going to need probably, we might need in the neighborhood of 75,000 honey before this is over. Maybe a little bit less than that. So we're going to do this. Strawberries around here are always ripe and delicious. In fact, this whole mountain is rich and full of life. I attribute that to all the wonderful bees and their caring beekeepers like you. Aww, that's so nice. Okay, remember, try to feed strawberries to a bee who really appreciates them. And then those are the bees that appreciate them. And come talk to me when you're ready. We're always ready. 10,000 honey. Awesome. So the rewards do start getting nicer and nicer. So 5 treats, 3 tickets. So yeah, here's the one where now she's going to talk about blueberries, which you can find primarily in the bamboo and the blue flower fields, and up in a field in the 15B zone, which we haven't talked about yet. And yeah, rhino beetles can drop blueberries, which we've seen. And they're definitely worth the hassle, and they're primarily liked by a lot of the blue bees. So we want 3 bees to level 5 and feed 10 blueberries and 30 treats to your bees. So yeah, we might as well do that, because this is getting us good amounts of honey, and we're not even having to run around and do anything collecting related. So yeah, we're gonna go here because we do have a blue bee that we can feed, and it was 10 blueberries. So yeah, we do have a blue bee that likes blueberries. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna feed you. We'll feed you 15 to level you up. That's fine. Okay. So you've leveled up, and that's okay. So now we're going to feed 30 to another one of you. We're going to feed you 30. 30. And again, you can type in a number and then hit the feed button. And so now we've raised his bond by 300. So we can look here, and we need another 423 bond to get him to level 5. So we'd have to feed him basically another 43 treats in order to get him to level 5. We could possibly feed him, I don't know if he likes any of the other things here. Does he like pineapple? He does. So we can feed him 9 pineapple, and that will level him up. Yeah, I wouldn't normally do that. I'm only doing it here just because it's going to complete the quest. And so that's why I went about doing that. because pineapple's a nice thing to have. You can use pineapple for some good crafting stuff, so I wouldn't normally use it in a case like this. But to get the quest done, yes. And because we're so early in the game, it doesn't really matter that much. It's only 9 pineapple. All right. And then she's going to tell us more about the blueberries and who gets the double bond. 20,000. Awesome. 10 treats, 3 tickets. Have you heard of gifted bees? Why, yes. Yes, I have, because we've been talking about those. Very rare and incredibly useful. They look similar to ordinary bees, but they have beautiful star patterns on them. They also come in unique colors that make them stand out. Collect 50% more pollen, make honey 50% faster, and deal 50% more damage than ordinary bees. And most importantly, they offer your hive bonuses that enhance the power of your entire swarm. And then she talks about one example, and that is a big deal. You can receive gifted bees when hatching or transforming bees, and a bee also has a small chance to become gifted if you feed it its favorite treat, like we talked about before. And then there are the eggs and items that guarantee a gifted bee, but we'll talk more about those later. And then we want 50 treats, 1 bee to level 6, and 5 bees to level 5, and use 3 royal jellies. So we probably won't finish that in this session, and we probably don't need to worry about it. But that one we'll get over the course of probably in our next episode. We'll have that one finished. Meanwhile, we're going to go here. So the next one's going to cost us 23,000. We're almost there for that. So this is going to be bee number 8 that we're going to get added to our hive. So we're going to come here, and we don't have any. Oh, we do have a royal jelly. Okay, so we're going to go here, use this royal jelly. Get him transformed into an exhausted bee. And then we're going to go here, feed it some treats. Feed it some more treats. Basically to get it to level 4, because all the early levels are easy to get. So there we go. So now that's up to level 4. And then level 5 is going to be harder to get. And so we won't worry about that right now. So now we're going to look here, and we're going to see what we have in the way of quests. I guess we can do the clover and blue flower field, because that will be kind of fast. And that's the one that we would do for the brown bear. And that will give us another royal jelly. So clover field, we can get honey from there kind of quickly. Blue flower is a little bit slower, but we need that for the black bear quest anyway. So here come the ladybug and the rhino beetle, wanting to talk to me again. And asking me if I am a fan of wildlife. So now we're going to run around here, and again, you can see down here we're filling up this bag pretty quickly for the clover field. Now that we have our better collector, and now that we have the boots, and because we have our canister, we can store all of it, so yeah, it's pretty nice. Later on, we're going to be able to get things called sprinklers, which is going to help us to replenish the fields quickly, because as you can see, as we're going around through the field, we're leaving all these holes in the field, which will refill over time, but it can take a little while for that to happen. But with the sprinklers, it will regenerate the fields more quickly. And that's a good thing. So now we're going to go here until we have 3,000 pollen, because that'll take care of both of these quests. Or it'll take care of the leg of that quest for the black bear, and it will also take care of the entire quest for the brown bear. So we're going to go until we get to 3,000. This is where having more bears, or more bees, that give you different tokens becomes a good thing, because the more tokens you get, the more abilities you have on your field, and it just continues to make things faster and faster. Okay, so we finished everything there. Now we're going to move over to, we'll do the other fields here. So we'll do the mushroom field, we'll do the sunflower field, and then we can finish everything up for the black bear as well. And that will hopefully get us enough, or it'll really get us close to having enough for bees 9 and 10. So we're just about there. I mean, we definitely got enough honey for bee number 9 at this point. And then it's just a matter of how we stand with bee number 10 after that. But once we have the quests done, that also might get us pretty close to. So just continuing mosey around in this field. All the fields on the lower level, they're definitely the slowest. And unless you specialize in red or blue, it's always going to take you the longest time in these fields, because they're the fields with the lowest level flowers, And with them being in the starter field, it's to be expected. So these take the longest to go through, and that's why I don't spend too much time in them, because it's the slowest way to gather pollen. And if you want to get pollen, you might as well go to a higher level field to do it, because you can gather it a lot faster up there. But because we're noobs, we can't really do that right now. Okay, so here we go. We got the black bear done. We're going to go here, finish up his quest. While it may be peaceful, the fields down here aren't very good for collecting pollen fast. It's amazing. I just said that. They contain mostly small flowers, which don't provide you with any bonus pollen. As you travel further up the mountain, the fields tend to have larger and larger flowers. I also just said that. Those fields can let you collect pollen twice or even 3 times as fast. Anyways, here's a reward to hold you over. 6 more quests and the gold egg is yours. So there we go. Another 10,000 honey. And now he talks about white pollen with a rather neutral flavor, but it's a great blank slate when mixing up artisanal honey blends. I don't know what he's talking about there, because there's nothing about artisanal honey, but it sounds funny. So there we go. Worst part about white pollen is collecting it. Why? Because without the benefits of red or blue boosts, and without the colored matching bee collection bonus, it can take far, far longer to gather. That is true. White honey can be harder to gather, that's for sure. That may not affect you much now, but it's a big deal when you got more colored bees. Next up, collect 10,000 white pollen. He speaks the truth there. White pollen can be a challenge to get your hands on. There's probably ways to specialize in it. I've not done it myself, but there's probably a way to do it. So yeah, we're going to have enough honey now, or in pretty rapid fashion, because we need 35,000 for bee number 10. And we're just about there. So, and we've got to finish turning in the quest for brown bear. So when you go here, oh, I'll take some tokens. Of course. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we got bee number 9. We're going to bring him in. I don't have any royal jelly, so I'm not going to be able to turn him into anything else. Well, I'll get a royal jelly when we finish up this quest for the brown bear. So we're going to go over here, up these ladders. And we're going to turn in the quest for the brown bear. We may have even been, I don't know how long we've been playing, so I don't know if we've been on for an hour. And if we have, then we'll be able to immediately get another quest from the brown bear. But we shall see. So we're going to go in here. Going to talk. Great, bud. Or great job, bud. Here's some royal jelly. You've completed 2 of my quests so far. Complete 3 more and you'll get 3 field dice. And we'll talk about field dice at some point as well, because those are a nice way to get yourself a boost in a field. Really, it comes down to getting boosts in fields. And whenever you can get a boost in a field, that's going to maximize your honey and your pollen. And so you really want to try and do things that are to give you the biggest boost you can get in a field. And that's going to really pump up the amount of honey that you collect and the amount of pollen that you collect. He hasn't quite finished preparing. So, yeah, 120. So we've been on for just about an hour. And then we'll get a new quest. So I might as well just kind of hang out here for a minute, because it's going to be 36 seconds, and then we'll have this. So we'll get another quest from him. So eventually we will be able to jump up and get that token there. Right now we just don't have anything in the way of strong boots. We might be able to jump here, and then can we jump there? No. At the beginning we're just such weak jumpers that we can't actually make that jump, but that'll get better. Oh, I haven't actually talked about the wealth clock. So the wealth clock, what this will do is it will give you once an hour, it will give you all of these bonuses that it says here. So it'll increase your pollen by 1, gives you a ticket, and so it increases your pollen by 1, and it gives you a ticket. And these effects stack the longer you stay in the game. So if you were here for another hour, you could come back, hit the wealth clock again, and it would give you a little bit stronger bonus. And then if you came back again, it would give you a little bit stronger. But those bonuses reset if you leave the game. So it's a nice way to get a little extra stuff. All right, are we ready for a new quest? Yes. Okay, so we've completed 2 of his quests. Let's see what's next. 7,600 blue pollen, 3,700 from the clover field, 2,500 from the spider field. So like I said, you can see these start ramping up pretty good. So we're going to go here, and I'm just going to run around in the clover field, get my bag filled up, and then that will also take care of this quest, or this part of the quest for the brown bear. And then that should give us enough honey to get our 10th bee. So that was the goal of this, and I think we are going to actually hit that goal and do it in about 1 hour's time, and actually less than 1 hour's time, because I spent a decent amount of this just talking about everything in the starter zone. So we're gonna run over here, get our bag emptied. I think we're gonna be a little bit short, just a little bit, but we'll be able to go back out and do a little bit more collecting, and then we'll have all of the honey that we need for another basic egg, which will get us to bee number 10. Now, there are other ways, like you can see, that you can get bees. Like when we do enough quests for with the black bear, he'll give us an egg, and so you'll get a number of eggs from the bears. So you'll get some eggs from the black bear. You'll get some eggs from the brown bear. I think you even get a couple of eggs from the mother bear. So you can get some from the bears, and then the other way you can go about them is doing the basic bees. You'll get some of them occasionally in drops from defeating things, but that's much more rare for that to happen. So early on in the game, your best source really of eggs, if you're looking to get them fast, is the egg dispenser. Because on top of that, they're not that expensive. In this at this stage of the game, everything feels like it's eating up your entire life savings. But later on in the game, something like 30,000 honey is absolutely nothing. I mean, you get that from stepping into a field, basically. All you got to do is put a toe in, and you've got 30,000 honey. So yeah, it's amazing how much of a difference perspective makes as you get further and further into the game. Let's see. We're going to go here, 35,648. So we're a little bit short. Can we do anything down here that's going to help us? It doesn't look like it. So we'll go run back up to the... we'll go run up to the spider field again. Or the clover field. This field. The one with the clovers on it. That's not the spider field. So we're going to go here. We're just going to finish this up. And I'm going to run around in here just until I get enough to get the 35,000. So we need about 3,000 in the bag to get us there. And then I think we'll be good. So you can see we're getting a little bit more in the way of tokens showing up because we do have more bees, and so they're giving us more tokens, which is helping us to collect faster. And now I think we're good. Yeah, we got 4,200 in the bag. We got 34,000 at the hive. So now we should be able to go over here, empty this out, and that will get us up to more than the 35,000 that we need. I do have a royal jelly here, so we're going to put this on the basic bee. And that's turned into a looker bee, which is another new type that's been discovered. And we can also feed this one some treats. So we'll feed it 4 treats, get it up to level 3. And now we've emptied out our bag. So yeah, the bags empty out a lot quicker as you go further along. Oh, here's a level 1 puff shroom. So we're going to go here. We haven't talked much about puff shrooms. Puff shrooms, like I talked about before, they can occasionally pop out from canisters. So you can, or planners. So you can have them, you can have a planner that will cause puff shrooms to pop out. They will also pop out every 30 minutes in the game. So they'll pop out at 15 minutes after the hour and 45 minutes. So every 15 and 45 of the hour. So since it's now 15 minutes past the hour in real time, this puff shroom has appeared for us to kind of work on knocking down. And if we knock it down, then it will give us a number of tokens, and it will then move its way to another field, potentially come a little bit stronger. And right now we're just having such a hard time with it because we're a noob and we're in an area where we've kind of beaten the field down, and so that's helped slowing down everything as well. So this is another one of these things that when you're further in the game, it means a lot more. But in the beginning of the game, if you can take down a level 1 puff shroom, you're feeling pretty good about yourself, which is what I'm trying to do here. The puff shrooms last for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, they go away, and they will come back again, either when someone triggers them, or they will always show up at 15 and 45 on the hour. We completed a quest. Oh, that was the white pollen quest, so I didn't even realize that we were going to do that. Are we going to be able to get this? How far are we in? So we got like another 2,800 in this. So we've come this far with it. Let's go the whole way. It'd be nice if someone came around here and just helped us to take it out. Because if we had anyone that had any kind of a level, they'd hit this in one fell swoop. But with us being noobs with a vacuum cleaner, it takes a lot longer to do anything with this. So slowly but surely, we will get this. I appreciate you sticking with me as I sit here and beat up on a puff shroom. We're almost there, but then you'll see exactly what you get from it when we do defeat it. So yeah, it drops out a few tokens. I know that doesn't feel like much. The higher up the level the mushrooms are, the more tokens they drop and the more bonuses you can get. So yeah, doing a level one doesn't really do a whole lot, but the higher level the mushroom, the more tokens you get and the more bonuses. So we've got his white pollen for the black bear. And it looks like you and your bees are covered in snow. Oh gosh, you're so funny. Anyways, good job. Here's a reward to hold you over. 5 more quests and the gold egg is yours. Another 7,500 honey. And another quest. I read pineapple contains enzymes that help you digest proteins. That doesn't affect me though. I only eat honey. Another cool fact about pineapple, in most languages they're known as ananas. I didn't know that. I wonder why English is different. English is so different in so many ways. All this talk about pineapple gives me an idea. Collect 13,000 pollen from the pineapple patch. Well, you can tell we haven't talked anything about a pineapple patch, and that's because the pineapple patch is actually up there behind the 10B zone. So you're going to reach a point with the quest where if you haven't gotten enough bees, you're not going to be able to progress with the quest line. And with the black bear, we have reached that point now. So the only way that we can do this is to get bee number 10. So we're going to go over here and we're going to go into the egg dispenser. We're going to spend our 35,000 honey and get egg number 10. And then we're going to put it in here. And that will give us bee number 10. So we're going to go here, one more basic egg, going to drop it here, and another basic bee. It will occasionally drop something that is not a basic bee. I've not had any luck with that so far, but it will occasionally do that. So it's not always a basic bee that you get from a basic egg. Sometimes you will get other things. That has not happened so far, though, but that's okay. All right, so now we've fed that a couple times. And so now we're just going to get our bag emptied out. And then once we have our bag emptied out, I'm going to turn around so that way we can see off into the distance and we can see what we've got. So if we look up there in the distance, I'm going to hop up on the chest. If we look up here where the pointer is, we can see the 10B zone is now available. Also, I think if I go over here, I don't know, I feel like I've discovered 8 different bee types where we could actually use the slingshot. Yeah, so we can actually use the slingshot. And when we get to our next episode, we will do that. That in the business is called a teaser. So in the event that you've never played Bee Swarm Simulator, then you don't know what the slingshot is all about. But for everyone else, it's like, yeah, we know what the slingshot is. But yeah, so we will get into that in our next one. So we've gotten a lot accomplished here. We went from 5 bees up to 10. We've kind of seen what all the different areas are. We got the maximum gear that we can get from the starter shop here. We've gotten a number of quests taken care of. We've defeated a couple of spiders. Done some more things for Mother Bear. All in all, it's been pretty good. We talked about the wealth clock. A lot of progress has been made. And so, yeah, so that's everything basically with the starter zone and the 5B zone. Those are the main things that you can see there. We still haven't gotten into the blue headquarters yet because we don't have 4 different types of blue bees. But once we get into once we get 4 different kinds of blue bees, we'll be able to go into the blue bee headquarters and we'll be able to see what that's all about. And hopefully we'll be able to do that next time, depending on how things continue to progress. But that is going to be it for now. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I appreciate all your support and all the views that you give to these videos. It means a lot. If you like this channel, I would appreciate, if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a like. If you like this channel, I would really, really appreciate it if you considered giving the channel a subscribe. It definitely helps things to grow. I'm going to continue putting out as many videos as I can with as many different games as I can, just to try and help give everyone a lot of variety in terms of things to see, because as always, variety is the spice of life, and people want to see as many different things as they can, and that's what I'm trying to, that is my goal for you, is to give you a look into as many different things as I can here. But that is it for now. Thank you very much for watching again. I am Rusty Champagne. We will See you later.